Which means we got to circle back. How are you? You did not answer the question.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna leave it there because of how therapy's been awesome. My therapist is like, hey man, stop doing that suppression shit. So I literally linked into every bit of how I was feeling all week. Backstory, it's bipping season. I live in the jungle. I subscribe to said rules of the jungle. I know what time it is, nigga. If I'm running in my house, if I'm running in my mama house, guess what I always do? Take my bag out the car. Nigga, it's 11:30 on a Tuesday morning, G. Nigga got his shades on. He got his cappuccino. Nigga, I'm chilling, talking business with my niggas, and bip. they get everything to a nigga's name. Nigga, I took them shades off and threw them so far. Fuck out of here, old cool Hollywood ass nigga. Like, that's why you got caught slip. Like, immediately went into the most rage you could even imagine. And not at them, at me. I know better. I just know better. I know better, but I'm still angry. And then, but we had one of the bigger meetings of Grand National the same day. Kev look at me like, you want to cancel? Fuck out of here. Ain't nobody running me off my square of what the bigger mission is. Fuck out of it. I'll cry later. But we're going to this meeting. Bosco walks in, is like, my nigga, how are you standing? Because it's creator to creator. Everything, like, it's not about the gear. The niggas could have honestly had the strap on me and been like, give me an iPad, everything else. And I would have been like, absolutely, but please let me have my hard drive. Like, you can have just please let me have my hard drives. And it's so, the creatives have understood that. So it's been like, grandma, my mom, and them like, can't you get it all back? And then the niggas who know, like, nigga, no, not the hard drives. Please, not the hard drives. Like, yeah, definitely the hard drives.
That was the first question I asked you when you told me.
He's like, please, not the hard drives. I was like, yep, nope, we definitely got the hard drives. But Bosco goes, bro, you know we could have canceled today. No, we couldn't have. We absolutely couldn't have, because that is how
that means they won.
And I'm such a sick.
I get the mentality.
I'm such a sicko. I'm not letting niggas win. And it's like, and then Janelle shout out to Julian at Peerless, the head of operations. He got us the video, and Janelle was like, post it, GoFundMe, fuck out of here. That means them niggas won. No. Absolutely not, nigga. You bitch ass niggas. It's clearly I'm still angry, upset, but it's, again,
as you should be,
right? Absolutely.
It's not about the equipment. It's the fact that I know where the fuck I'm at. Mm-hmm. I know where I'm at. Don't get it. Ain't never too sweet, and it's a matter.
Man, we need to bring back stoning, man. I know this shit is wrong. We need to bring back stoning, bro.
You telling me?
You catch these cats, then every cat gets to throw whatever size rock you want to throw at these motherfuckers, man. Because, like, it's the simplicity of it. I get it. Folks is hungry or whatever.
No.
But you also be taking from folks that are also, like, hungry. You don't know what situation anybody in.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, just to take somebody's hard-earned whatever the hell it is, like, just like it's nothing, or just run up at somebody's shit and take stuff, like, yeah, I get it. You know, folks done glorified robbing for way too long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Look at that shit as if that shit is sweet or cute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you supposed to be some type of level of a man.
Right.
Because you can rob another nigga. You know what I'm saying? And like that, you know, like that's childish as fuck. But also, there's got to be repercussions for these type of things. Right. So, like, that's just kind of how it goes. That's why the element of consequence needs to be heightened. So, like, if we gonna get back to the point of, like, I was just talking about this on the outro for the property or whatever. Cats just got their shit ran through in a garage or whatever, and like, looking for the police footage and stuff like that. I showed them the footage. I showed them that shit happened within 15, 20 seconds.
That's all it takes.
You know what I'm saying? And, like, can see the entry, saw the exit or whatever. And, like, as quickly as that is, like, I don't care how much security you got. And also, security, you got to think about, it ain't like we got armed security.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they got to think about, they got to make their choices. Right. And then there's a lack of police response. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and then it was like, so, and I'm like, do you see that they saying don't go into L.A.? You know what I mean? They're already telling people not to go into L.A.
Right.
And they ain't said it in Oakland.
But they need to.
It's already known.
It's already known.
You know what I mean? If you don't know, you don't know, you're going to get caught. But don't go into Oakland either.
So that's that's exactly how I work through all the emotions. Call the police. Do this. Do that. Like, nigga, I know where I'm at. I've also subscribed to all these rules, and so it's like, yeah, definitely not calling the cops. I know what their response time is. Nigga, they don't got. Nigga, I'm one in however the many fucks of whatever. So then I look, and you have to file a police report just for the sake of insurance, who ain't shit anyway. My fucking premiums through the roof, and you're gonna tell me you can't do nothing about my personal belongings.
Yeah, insurance be asking for receipts and
So I get to.
can you prove that this is?
I ain't had to talk to no cop. You can do this shit
Name
on.
of the person who sold the shit.
Nigga, you can do it online like a survey, my nigga. You don't have to talk to. You don't have to talk to nobody. You get to do it online, and the shit responds to you and gives you a case number. Next.
Man, when they broke into my car and they got my hard drive and my first camera and everything, I'm talking to the police. The police was like, "Yeah, well, we'll file the report." And then when I was talking to my insurance, the dude on the phone hit me with the, "You sure your camera was in there?" Fam, I wouldn't be calling you right now.
I don't want to deal with y'all. Like, I don't. The inconvenience of it all is more annoying than anything. And now you about to hassle me over $100 deductible from my window. Fuck out of here, nigga. Like, I have shit to do. Like, I literally.
Come on, bro. You can't be getting hurt in kicking practice, bro. Well, they had to get helped off the field on kicking practice, bro.
Hey,
come on, bro.
Hey, bro, don't tell nobody what happened, man. We ain't gonna talk about it.
Come on, you got one job, bro. One job.
Oh, Janikowski would never.
God damn.
You
ACL try to kick in practice.
be asked a really great question of like, how long do you give yourself to feel? I want to ask for clarity around that before answering it.
Okay. I more so just I try to, I call it spiritually bypassing, or what people also call like kind of like toxic positivity. Like anytime something happens, not actually sitting with or leaning into the emotion of whatever all the things you actually feel, and just kind of be like, no, everything's gonna be okay, silver lining, blah blah. Right. Or kind of like not people who are like unwilling to kind of like sit with their shadow, like kind of the sense of it. But I had just like an off day, and I was kind of like, I was realizing that I was beating myself up because I always, like, I know all of these things I can do, all of these tools, and it's like in the moment I'm like, okay, well, like, just let me apply these tools so I can be better, like, type of thing. And sometimes I forget that, like, hey, you gotta just kind of sit with it for a little bit and be okay with sitting with it, but then also trying to find that balance of, like, all right, you can't sit with that shit too long. Understand what's going on, but bitch, you got shit to do, you know? So kind of just, I was wondering if y'all have, like, a set time limit, because I know some people are like 24 hours. So I was like, do people have like a set time limit, or is it kind of just, do you measure it off of like how deep into that you get into? Like, I don't know. Right.
I think for me, because of all of the normal processing you're supposed to do, it's such a new experience for me because of therapy. I haven't gotten to the space of setting a time. We're simply just working through the idea of not doing the standard thing I've adapted as a survival tactic of just going the toxic positivity shit like that. I might be the poster boy for that shit. And so now having gone, all right, now we can't ignore it. I was also mindful of not wanting to make the over swing on the pendulum of like, now it's just like I really despise the woe is me wallowing niggas. Like it just makes me uncomfortable. But I also realize
you want to go to the newly religious route.
Oh my god,
nigga, now I'm the preacher man,
bruh. And it's like I don't want to be that nigga. I don't want to be that nigga. But in the process of what I was doing, the toxic positivity shit is a form of that. Whether or not it feels like wallowing, don't nobody want to hear that shit either. Like I realized it this week was like, this too shall pass. I was like, if one more person say that shit to me this week, it's gonna be on. Like I'm doing okay until somebody say, for whatever reason, I could handle any other type of, like even people being like, oh man, you know better. I was like, even that didn't bother me as much as this too shall pass. It's like that. Please don't say that no more. Not one more you say that.
Hey, that's some shit that you say while you like exiting the room. Like, I ain't trying to hear nothing else about this. This too shall pass.
It's like, get the fuck out of here with that, bro. You don't like, you clearly don't. But I am looking forward to the day where I can put a number on it, you know, where it's like, yo, you got this amount of hours to fully process, and then we just fully off it. And I think what that does do is set the boundaries and parameters around not having that shit. Because Tuesday, even up until Friday with Gigi, I could still get like hot, like I could feel my temperature, but just thinking about the proximity and all, like it was all the shit outside of the property has nothing to do with this. It's just sheer principle for me, and so it's like I don't want this feeling no more. I don't want it. And so shout out to Poe. I was like, my nigga, let's just ride and get a drink. But in the process, salute to my nigga Matt Horn and Nina, his lovely wife and family. They had a dope gathering of some really amazing folks, and I got to just go poly with them. The boy Dame played me. That nigga's got a classic on his hands. How he pulled that off, he gonna have to put some respect on that nigga name from here on out, just because of the execution of that. So all that happened within the span of one night, and it was like, and Poe made a really good point. He was like, "Hey, my nigga, I know you don't want to hear this too shall pass, but hear me out. He's like, hear me out.
Hear me here.
Some of the realest niggas like have been in this exact position before, and it's like how you the bounce back and the response is
Issa D too. If she got hit up outside that store,
right. It's just like how you gonna respond? It's like maybe your next endeavor is going to require something of you that you don't even know you capable of yet just now, and the safety net of going, yeah, nigga, I got 4 albums, nigga, on my hard drive, nigga. You don't have that no more. You don't got you outside and you got to build now. What you gonna do? And it's something like, I was like, that's why you my man. Like this is the type of energy I need around. You know what I'm saying? So, but the to your point, the not doing the toxic positivity, being like, oh, it's okay. I do feel like it welcomed a type of conversation this time around. And so, but I am looking forward to acquiring the tools to move me into like, all right, bro, 24 hours and we off it. Like, that's it. I'm gonna give you that. Cause that stare off was crazy. That stare off was wild.
Like, y'all know each other's stories.
My nigga, you tell it.
Hey, you tell mine, I'm gonna tell yours. That's really what it kind of looked like. I was like, why is he looking at it like that?
Oh shit. For me, I definitely don't have a time, but it was funny because my therapist, this was a little bit ago, she told me, she was like, her words were, you use the excuse of everything's balanced. So whenever something bad happens to you, she was like, you ignore the feelings that you need to feel because you just use that excuse of, oh, that somehow is balancing. She said, because honestly, with how big the universe is, your understanding of balance ain't shit. And
That's
I was
accurate.
like,
I never heard that.
thank you. And so she was like, you need to take time to process the feelings. She said, I'm not saying you got to sit and mope, but she said, I feel like for years you decided to move so fast and there was shit that you experienced that you didn't even want to take in. So you're just like, oh, this is balancing. So now I'm actually trying to process shit when shit happens to me instead of just using the excuse of, oh, it's just the universe balancing itself out.
Right.
Damn, you don't know how big the universe is, so your sense of balance is off. I'm like, damn, I'm about to go fuck around and like think about that for a minute. Like, hold up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it, for me, it just comes down to. I mean, we said it on your pod, B, but where it wasn't on the mic though. It wasn't during the recording. But for me, it's just like proper rest for me. So like
Proper rest?
Yeah, like if something happened in whatever day and like it might have been overwhelming or whatever, or it might have gotten to a certain point, then that means you need to take the necessary steps today to get that shit up off you, get you some sleep, wake up tomorrow, attack this motherfucker. You know what I mean? You get this night to set whatever straight for yourself, and then in the morning you own this motherfucker bright and early. You know what I'm saying? You don't even get the. Because I used to have like the long time frame that you gotta sit through whatever, and you know you eventually get to the point that I can get to now. But I was always thinking that how do I lessen the blow for one, and then like how do I turn this around quicker? And that's always been like my thought process is like, okay, so such and such happened. And I had to feel this motherfucker, and I felt this motherfucker for way too long by standards of the public. You know what I mean? Because like the public just keeps moving. You know, everybody's on their own schedule, so nobody knows what individual's going through, and then they only operate on their own spectrum anyway. So it's not really about you at any given point. It's always for whatever is in the best interest of whoever you're dealing with. So in the past, it would have been me separating myself from the public and me going through whatever it is I'm going through, and the public move, and we don't even have to interact with each other. Now it's like, oh, well, it's no point in the separation part. We still have to interact. How do I get to the level of what you need on your side quicker? You know what I'm saying? How do I make sure that I don't have so much of a layover on this? And that's really what I'll come down to, is that if you go through something really, really tough in a day, then when you get away from it, whatever, if you have the luxury or the blessing to be able to go back to your own situation or whatever it is, then you have to set the timetable at wherever it is that you're at. So like whatever you're doing, you know, get the proper food within you, take a nice shower or whatever it is that you do, you know, play whatever music if you need to, or, you know, meditate or whatever the hell that could possibly be. But make sure that you get a good night's rest. I know it's tough, whatever it is that gets you to sleep, but whatever that is, cool. But you know what I mean, whatever that option is. But when you wake up in that morning, you better be ready to full-blown attack. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's really the way that I go about it. It's because none of this shit stops. So you got to be a fucking machine. And how do you get to being a machine? You know what I'm saying? Is separating your feelings from the execution of whatever it is that you got to do.
And when you say separate, you don't mean neglect though.
No. It's not neglect. I mean, those things your feels are gonna be your feels. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about whatever it is gonna be there? But I'm talking about how the public moves, because the public doesn't stop for whatever you're feeling. You know what I'm saying? So you can be stuck in your feels, and this whole thing passes you by, and you still gonna be in your feels, and people still don't give a fuck about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. Don't neglect your feelings. Figure out how you about to be working through whatever it is that you feel about it, but you got to figure out how you going to reinsert yourself into the public. That's what's important, because you have to continue to progress in whatever it is that you're doing, even though you're going through whatever it is that you're going through. This thing doesn't stop. So if that means you do your therapy, or you can get that shit out so that it helps you have more that you can put in, then that's the way that you go about it. If that means that, you know, you figured out whatever your routine's going to be, so that you know that you execute really, really well in whatever this routine is, so that gives you the confidence to reinsert yourself, then go about it that way. But you got to figure out what your niche is. You know what I'm saying? You can't be on other people's time on these things. You got to figure out how to, whatever your niche is, and execute that so that you can reinsert yourself.
Did you even say if you settled into time, like a time limit of sorts, or is that something you working towards, or or where are you at? Because and then how does that correlate? Because I don't know. I feel like L nailed something when we talk about how to use distraction. You know, like you asked a very poignant question, like how do you know you're properly using it, for one, and then how few people even know that there's a difference, right? It's like, because what he to the tried warrior, what L just worked through could be dangerous. I don't feel like that's a model for everyone.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I think L's wired very particularly.
right. That's but I don't. I also
you're gonna get excellence out that shit.
That's
sure.
So that's okay. That's what I'm. I want to be clear. I want to be clear. I want to be clear. What he's describing, I personally would subscribe to and deem it as excellent. However, in
people on special soap, don't be just taking L's. Just moving through the world.
Right. Be out there wounded.
Okay, hey, wait a minute.
Right? There's a certain level of wiring.
You gotta be tried and for real.
Right.
I'm the person. Hey, just to give you insight, I'm the person that was hurting, like immaculate hurt, and still being in the public and not knowing how to function, and my hurt being just full blown a lava within, and still being out there, and folks taking advantage of that. And me taking all that in for a specific reason. For when I eventually come out of this shit, best believe I'm about to be the coldest motherfucker walking this motherfucker.
It's Joker. I watched.
Very Joker.
I watched Joker and I go, oh L, like, and not on God G, not in a demeaning way. It's like,
no, for sure.
You got to be in order to and so when L was going through his shit, I was doing the protective cousin thing, like, because I was sensing the niggas taking advantage of it, and I was like, this is making me uncomfortable. But he seems to be kind of signing up for it and showing up for it. I'm like, wait, is he doing this on purpose? Like, but I'm so in my feelings. I'm like, fuck everybody, nigga. What's happening? And Poe is like, Monty, calm down. I think L's got it, and I'm like, no, but that's my man. For I was like, okay. That's your man, you know what he's capable of. You think he's got it? Like, nah, man, this ain't right. And then then he breaks it down like that, and I'm like, oh, you're a sicko, like an absolute sicko, because like dead ass, like on the verge of like everybody can get it, because this doesn't feel fair. Like it's because it's the shit I was describing last week. If we gotta protect the nigga. If this Hove, I'm Tata. I'll take the case. I'll take it. It's fine. You know, it's totally fine. But and we'll talk about the Sean shit, where a lot of niggas fuck up is their immediate circle are niggas that are more inclined to pillage and leverage your status for their own advancement and not protect the shit that got us here. So now, when you getting run out the building, as long as their status is secure, hey man, you figure it out. That nigga figured out. Oh, you got me fucked up, bro. How we all get in here? You're not gonna protect the shit that got us here. I don't know. Maybe I'm out there. Cause I want to get back to you, B, but no, fuck it. We'll come back to that. I'm sorry.
No, that was a hell of a point. Then.
Distraction, distraction, and time limit of fields. I know you didn't write them down to correlate, but because
I
of
actually did.
You did. Okay.
And then I separated.
My bad. Okay. So
maybe this is different in other people's minds.
That should just because of how he described it. It sounded similar to me.
So it depends what it is. I'm trying not to take it on a tangent because another question popped in my head, but it's also kind of like funny.
That's why we do this show, man. Tangent me. Damn it.
I'm like when I'm working through like something that happened that is actually real and that would felt traumatic in some way.
That's the title, by the way. My bad.
Tangent me.
Tangent me.
Tangent me. I like it. I like it.
I usually try to give myself a couple of days, but I spread them out. So, like, I want the first day, and I'm going to fully immerse that first day. Like, I try to land it on a Monday because Monday is when I can get the least amount of work done at work. Mm-hmm. And, like, kind of just be in it. And then I give myself probably, like, a day to, like, get back into it. And then the next day is, like, a check-in. Like, how you? And then it's like, where you? And then feel if you need to. But it's usually about, like, half a day. And then I always, the last day is kind of, the second part is like, I'm still a woman. So I'm fucking hormonal. When your cycle's coming.
Right.
And as that, I think when that time's coming, I think there's always this moment where I can tell, I'm getting better at like tracking when I can tell like my hormones are off. And like, as a woman, there's, like, it's so hard to explain to a man, but, because niggas be like, bitches just be crazy. And I'm like, no, there is literally a hormonal imbalance happening in our bodies.
Right.
Every month, and we have no fucking control over it. There's small things you can do, like,
and
naturally.
women got a fucking chemical reason, and it be bitch-ass niggas out here on they cycle, too, with no chemical reason for it. So shut up, you weird-ass niggas, bro. God,
I mean, but if they identify as having a chemical imbalance, then let them have the chemical imbalance.
my bad. I'm sorry. I forgot what era we were in.
Identification.
Right.